record here. All right, we're good there, and we're good here. And now we do the thing. It begins in 3, 2, 1.
It is easier for a mom to understand the ingredients in a Hostess cupcake than it is to understand what's inside that video game box.
This is the morning stream. You're a freak and a cannibal, and you've come to the wrong town.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to TMS. It is the morning stream for Monday, August 31st, 2020. Oh, I really hitched up on the ear there.
Kind of a weekend, huh?
It's a little bit of a weekend. I'll tell you what.
What's in that video game box?
Yeah, the backs. That's from the 1993 Senate hearings, 93 Senate hearings on video game violence, specifically Mortal Kombat and discussion around Night Trap for the Sega CD.
Night Trap.
Yeah.
Which, the worst problem with that game was not the violence.
No. The worst problem with that game is that it really was terrible and dumb.
Yeah.
And people thought it was horrible. But
it featured different strokes. What was her name?
Dana Plato.
Dana Plato, yes. The late, great Dana Plato.
Yep. She was in there. She was the biggest star power they had for that. And here's the funny thing. I don't know if you knew this. Well, when you watch the High Score.
Yeah.
They'll
call it Final Score, but High Score.
They'll get into it. Oh, by the way, I got an email yesterday, or Twitter, from somebody yesterday said, I was talking about High Score on Twitter earlier, and somebody wrote me and says, I can't watch that. It's too woke for me. What is he talking about?
It's about video games, right? Is it?
Well, there's one story in there about how
on topics about representation, equal representation in video games.
Well, there's there's a guy who worked on some of the early Madden games that's black and gay, and they mention it. It's not like they make a huge deal out of it, but they mention it. Is that what he means? That's too woke for him? It's too woke. Oh, and the transgender lady. That's right. There's a lady who's she won the Tetris, or no, some competition back in the day. What was the game? I forgot now. It wasn't Tetris. That was the other kid. Oh, I'm mixing all my stories up. Okay, so there's people of different walks of life are in your show. A little too woke for you. When people use the term woke, I just want to smack them, like backhand them. Kapsh! Yeah. Quit using the terms that people force down your throat, or like, your little catchphrases. It's too woke. Social justice warrior. All right, Brian. Show. Yes, sir. Let's do a show. We got things to talk about. We got another dog coming tomorrow. A dog.
Another dog.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Rainer, Boomer, and now another dog. Well, Boomer's about to leave because Nick's taking Boomer to his apartment soon. They've been waiting for a desk. Did you know that there's a desk shortage? Were you aware of this?
No, but that kind of would make sense, right? That desks for homeschooling, for distance learning would be in demand right now. For over the summer, it was bikes. There was a bike shortage.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that about the bikes.
Yeah, and of course, we all know about the inexplicable coin shortage.
Yeah, having to go to Chick-fil-A to turn in your coins and you get free Chick-fil-A nuggets or whatever it is.
What?
Yeah,
really?
They had a thing here where Chick-fil-A said if you paid with change, they would give you free nugget meal things.
Oh, that's
or something
hilarious.
Like that. I can't remember the exact details, but it was something like that. They were doing a change run. But anyway, in this case, desks, you can't go to what's it, Kinko's. Go to
IKEA.
IKEA, jeez. I knew there's a K in there. Frick. Go to IKEA and they're plenty of meatballs, lots of beds, and a couple of TV stands, but desks nowhere to be found. So
wow.
So this my son's roommate can't get this desk in. It's finally shipped though, so it's on its way. Which means sometime this week, Boomer goes to her new permanent home, and then
you really think that IKEA could just take 11 pieces of wood out of the floor, put it in another box and call it the Schmirk desk.
Yeah,
or whatever,
call it the Borka and sell millions of them. Just do it.
It's like it's the same pieces as the freaking bookcase.
Dummies. They're dumb. You know what you could do? Mash some Swedish meatballs together. Boom, desk. You got it. Taken care of. Anyway, so this thing's coming, and so Boomer's leaving, which is a little sad because we're gonna miss Boomer around here.
Yeah.
But Carter's decided since she moved back, she wants to adopt a dog, and so yesterday she found what we think is a Weimaraner. Am I saying it right?
Weimaraner or like does it speak in iambic pentameter or is it a Weimaraner?
Weimaraner, that's it. I never say it right. That's a dog breed I never say out loud. But we found one that it's the sweetest looking dog you've ever seen. Yeah. Just this beautiful puppy eye, and it's a puppy. That's the other lucky thing. You like to get them when they're pups because you can get them used to living with other dogs and all the other stuff.
Right.
And her name, she's already decided to name her Ripley. And yes, named after Ripley from the Alien series.
Of course, yeah.
Because we're nerds. And
not Rodney Allen Ripley.
Yeah.
Okay, number one, adorable. And Weimaraners are awesome. There are those, like, if you've seen the music video for True Faith by New Order, you see Weimaraners like balancing on beach balls and doing all sorts of cool tricks.
Yeah.
They require you're going to be great. You're going to be getting a lot of exercise because they require a lot of a lot of walking and running and stuff.
They need to get out. Well, see, and this is the thing. We told Carter, if you're going to get this potentially giant dog, right now the dog's not that big, but it'll grow some. It is supposed to be the runt of whatever litter it came from, which we always end up getting for some reason. The other two dogs were both runts and are smaller for their breed combos. This one is supposed to be. We'll see, I guess. But the whole deal is, hey, Carter, you're adopting it. She's paying for the dog. It's like $250, whatever they charge you over there. Paying for the neutering and the stuff. It's her dog. And so she's an adult and she gets to do all the stuff. So if there's a poop, you picking up the poop. If you're walking it, you're walking it. She's going to do all those things. But I'm 100% sure I'm just going to fall in love with this thing when it gets here.
Because I've been corrected, and yes, Aviatech John, it's the Blue Monday music video, and he posted the video in chat. Like, you've got a Weimaraner who's like standing balancing on a tennis ball.
Oh yeah, look at this. I've not seen this in so long. Oh my gosh, I'm having MTV
I know,
flashbacks.
it's been forever. Yeah.
Wow. All right. I can't show it on thing because YouTube will be dumb.
Yeah, they'll freak out.
But if you're at home and you're like, hey, what are they talking about? Look up New Order Blue Monday on YouTube and you will find an ancient video from 1980 or something or other. Yeah, this is so she, I think she's a combo of something, but there's definitely this dog in her. Mm-hmm. And she's just beautiful, just a beautiful animal. And she was really sweet, like slept in her lap while she was holding her and all this stuff. So we're getting her Tuesday because today she's getting the old snipper, getting the. That's where they take the vagina out, right? And then is that how it works? I don't know how it works.
The morning stream at gmail.com or whatever the email address is.
Oh, you nailed it. That was it. So anyway, just wish us luck because we're about to be, we're about to be a kennel.
Can I make a suggestion, by the way?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ripley's a great name, but I think right now you need to call her DJ Weimaraner.
Oh. And I could call her DJ for short.
MC Weimaraner.
MC Weimaraner.
My name's Weimaraner, and I'm here to say woof, woof, woof.
Hey. That's amazing. All right. We've made a decision.
You got a secondary nickname for her now.
Well,
Ripley, keep her a primary Ripley. When
sure.
But then when you're talking about her in the house, like, did anybody feed DJ Weimaraner or MC Weimaraner?
Is she in there spinning fat hits or whatever they do?
Yes.
I don't know what they do.
Ripley, the gentleman Weimaraner.
There you go. Nailed it. All right. You saw a movie.
I ventured, Scott.
Not only that, you've seen a movie that was supposed to be out like 1,000 years ago.
I know, yes. All the people who are in this movie are now grandfathers and grandmothers, and
yeah, it feels really good.
All right, so a little bit of background. A lot of background. The New Mutants movie, I think, was filmed in the 90s and has been circling the train. Finally got released No, I did 2017 or 2018 they filmed it, and it was supposed to come out last year and then got pushed to this year.
Yeah.
And we've been, Tina and I have been kind of reading up on what the different theater chains are doing as far as cleanliness, and she's like, okay, I'm going to sit this one out because this is Tina talking. I'm going to sit this one out because I don't really care about the New Mutants.
Yeah. I wondered what her take on that would be. So it sounds like
but I want you to, kind of report back and let me know how you feel about the whole experience and if you feel it's safe, because she's the one we're trying to protect and be careful with. So I got to say the whole experience was great. I never really felt. I'm not even gonna throw really in there. I never felt unsafe the whole time we were there. The ticket ordering process automatically, when you get seats, leaves the seats next to you empty. It X's those out as you choose your seats, and you see the other seats that have been chosen, and they're all X'd out on either side. If you're going to a recliner theater, obviously there's a 6-foot distance, and usually a plexiglass divider anyway on the wall in front of you.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
really just side to side that you got to kind of worry about.
Right.
And what's kind of cool is you can game the system and double that up. So, which you'd want to do anyway, because if you're two people going to see a movie, you're taking a couple of recliners that are next to each other, and that leaves an empty one on either side of you. Well, that means that next to that empty space is a recliner that's got a larger divider next between it and the next person. So if you want to see a movie with your significant other, with your friend, whatever, you really want to get the pair of seats that are kind of closer together as opposed with the ones with the big divider.
Sure.
So that automatically leaves 2 seats in between you and the people on either side. Some other cool things, there's no refills on drinks. As a matter of fact, I pre-ordered my popcorn and my drink. So the other reason I wanted to go to the movie theater was for the popcorn. Pre-ordered all that, and they, on the bag that contains your pre-order, like your popcorn comes in a bigger bag. It's a smaller bag in a bigger bag, and inside the bigger bag is packets of salt and butter and little to-go containers.
Oh, okay.
So you can do it yourself and not push any buttons to butter your popcorn.
It's like McDonald's. They have a really good double bag policy for their stuff now.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that.
And then you take it over to the drink area and show them your bag, and it says medium fountain drink. And then they say, okay, what would you like? And they get a cup. And basically they just do it all for you. And they get a cup and they put the ice in it, and then they hit the orange, vanilla, Coke Zero, whatever it is you choose.
Wow.
So it's, if you really want to do your kamikaze mixing 7-Up, Coke, Fanta, whatever, then you've got to really guide them in that process. But that was really quick. That was really easy. Going into the theater, hand sanitizer stations everywhere. And as you go into the theater itself, there's a Clorox sanitizing wipe dispenser where you can grab a couple of those, wipe your seat, your armrest down. Everything's already been cleaned between showings, but if you want that extra level of whatever, we did that. We better, let's add one extra layer of cleanliness to this thing.
Sure.
So, and then everybody, you just basically keep your mask on unless you're eating popcorn or having a drink. I, for the most part, did my usual thing where I consume 3/4 of the bag of popcorn before the movie actually starts during the trailers, of which there were a lot more than I was expecting. There was a good, 6 or 7 trailers before.
Were they new movies or like repeat things, or what were they?
New movies. It's there was a trailer for Tenet. There was a trailer for Black Widow. There was a trailer for Morbius. There was a trailer for
oh right, they're making a Morbius movie. I forgot.
They're making a Morbius thing. And so I went to the movie with my Uncle George, who's the other big comic book person in my life.
Yeah.
And Morbius since 1975 has been George's favorite Marvel comic book character, the living vampire.
Really?
He
Wow.
loves Morbius.
That's
and
great.
And I kind of elbowed him and said, so did you ever think you'd be sitting in a theater seeing a trailer for a Morbius movie? This is never in my life did I think that this would ever be a thing.
Yeah.
They're saying I'm still blurry. Am I still blurry?
Your camera's doing like crazy autofocus.
Oh, because it's funny because I've got it set. Oh, you know what? I've got it set to. Yeah, I'm using the webcam settings thing. Let me pull that up while I'm talking.
Yeah, no problem. It's weird because you'll like even a little bit of movement and it'll go.
I thought I turned off autofocus.
That sounded like a cool rave song I was just doing. We're gonna go to,
all right,
let's go to the club. All right.
I'm gonna zoom in on me really quick so I can set my focus and turn
Whoops.
it off autofocus.
There you are. Oh, there you go.
Is
right
that good?
there, right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I know. I'm just trying to. There we go. Okay.
Oh.
Auto.
No.
Oops. Not auto. All right.
There
okay.
you go. There you go. You look good now. You look good.
All right. Anyway, so let's talk about the movie really quick, and I might talk about it a little bit more when Steven's on here. But it is, if you go into this thing expecting a superhero movie, you're going to be disappointed. If you go into this thing expecting a horror movie, you're going to be disappointed. But if you kind of put those things aside or secondary, and you're even a little bit familiar with the source material, with who the New Mutants are, you're going to enjoy it a lot. For the most part, casting was spot on. Wolfsbane, Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones, Arya Stark. She is like the perfect Wolfsbane. Nails the character. Rain Sinclair.
Nice.
Danny Moonstar I thought was well cast, and Anna Taylor-Joy, is that her name?
Played Emma. Taylor-Joy.
with her eyes far apart. Another great casting, Ileana Rasputin.
Okay. All right.
The fact that I said that her eyes are really far apart.
Yeah, that cracked me up for some reason. I don't know.
They are really far apart.
Yeah.
She looks like she was drawn by Carmen Infantino, Marvel artist Carmen Infantino, and she plays magic. That's great casting. For whatever reason, they and this is big controversy right now with the movie. They kind of whitewashed Roberto da Costa, Sunspot, who's much more dark-skinned in the comics. They still hired a Brazilian actor, I think, Zaga, but for whatever reason, the director said, I really was more looking for someone who looked Brazilian, who looked like they were born with a silver spoon in their mouth.
Oh, well, I don't know why is that a problem? Why are people?
Yeah, I kind of get it. And Diced Tomato, Sunspot is Brazilian, Sunfire is Asian.
Oh.
And he's asking if Sunspot is Asian.
And Eddie Brock is a white guy, okay? All right. I'm sorry. I'm reading a Venom run right now, and I can't stop thinking about it. Anyway, keep
there
going.
You go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, they did one other character change that was like, okay, I kind of see why they did that to make things a little bit easier. Magic has a very complicated backstory, very complicated origin. So they kind of simplified it for this, because a Magic backstory would probably take the length of the movie with Belasco and Limbo and stuff like that.
That's a whole movie unto itself.
That's a whole movie.
Yeah.
I like P Squared says 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. Brian is an easy review. Okay.
Well, you're a fan. Okay, you're a huge
I'm
Marvel
a fan of the
fan.
source material, and I really will stress that if you're not familiar with the source material, you're probably not going to enjoy it as much as someone who is familiar with.
Well, you said, say again what you said on Film Side, because you gave it a good position between a couple. You use the X-Men thing and compare.
Oh, yeah, right. So if you take the whole Fox mutant movie lineup and stretch it from best to worst, from Logan all the way down to X-Men Origins Wolverine. Yeah. I think just about everybody here can agree that is the range.
Yeah, that's about your range.
This is in the top half of those movies. Certainly not as good as Logan, not as good as X-Men First Class, but better than Dark Phoenix, Apocalypse. I'd say while it's not as fun as the Deadpool movies, it's probably in that range.
Oh, that won't be controversial.
Not as good as Deadpool 1, but maybe between Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2.
Okay. I want to see it. I'm not too concerned about seeing it in theaters, but I'm definitely a thing I'll catch when it's available or whatever. But It's just nice to have the damn thing out and be done. Like, we're done now.
Yeah, exactly.
This is like
I'd put it better than X-Men 1, but not as good as X-Men 2.
Oh, interesting. Better than 1.
I thought X-Men 2 was the highlight for me of that whole series.
I mean, 2 is the best. I agree. I think I liked 1 a lot though, so that's interesting.
Do you? Okay, well maybe
not a lot. Maybe I liked it enough.
You know, I did enjoy it, and I thought it was a good storyline. There's a great reveal that I won't talk about, obviously. But
MODOK!
Oh, if only.
Oh, no MODOK.
No, I think MCU owns MODOK. MODOK isn't part of the former Fox ownership.
Yeah, I was going to say it's all one pie now, but when this was made, it wasn't. So it's weird, right? This is a weird movie. It's a weird one.
Yeah. Better than Days of Future Past? No, I think I would still put Days of Future Past. What I need to do is actually list out all the Fox mutant movies.
Do it.
And
put a little Fantastic Four in there just for sauce, you know?
Hell
for
no.
the flavor.
There's no scale where the paper would be tall enough that I could put Fantastic Four on the same sheet of paper. It's like a scale representation of the solar system. Yeah. You just can't do it to have something that's big enough to get Neptune.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, all right then. That's your review of New Mutants, everybody. Finally, it came out. It's like it reminds me of what's his name, Duke Nukem Forever. That game took forever to come out.
Chinese Democracy from Guns N' Roses.
Oh, right.
So the experience was good enough that Tina says, "Yeah, okay, I'm comfortable with it." So this Thursday night, we're seeing Tenet.
Oh, Tenet. That's right, Tenet, the big tentpole Tenet movie that'll.
Yes, the big summer movie.
Yeah, the summer hit you've all been waiting for in the fall.
That's right.
It was actually like 40 degrees outside this morning. What's that about? It was 100 and something yesterday.
God.
What's that? What does that mean? Fall is here? I don't even know what to say. Oh, yeah, you got Bill and Ted 3's actually happening. Jury saw it, and he loved it. We'll probably hear more about that tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
He liked it a lot. So I trust his opinion on dumb movies like that. We'll see how that goes. Real quick, tiny note. My wife and I celebrated our anniversary on... What day was it? Saturday or Friday?
Saturday you did it.
Was it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday was our anniversary. Gosh dang. Anyway, my kids, my daughter in particular, Carter, she decided that for our anniversary present, she bought us tickets to see Metallica's one time only, for this year anyway, live concert, which was going to be broadcast to drive-in theaters all around the country.
Yeah.
We only have like...
What a great idea.
We have one drive-in theater in Salt Lake City. It's been here since I was a kid. I saw freaking the Herbie Lovebug things when I was a tiny kid in this thing. And then when I was 15 or 16, I saw Aliens there. Like, it's just been in my life forever, this place. And it still looks as old as it did when I was there last time. And I probably haven't been since the 80s. It's been that long since I've gone to this drive-in theater.
Is this still a place that has the poles with the, in case you don't want to use your own
No,
stereo?
They got rid of all that. All that is gone now.
Did.
Yeah. They're like, you know what? Everyone's got stereos now. We think we're good.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we... the way they did it,
keep running the car to charge the battery so you don't drain it listening to the stereo.
Exactly. So the way they did this thing was they showed they did what's the name of the first band? 3 Days Grace. They
3
opened.
Days Grace.
Yeah, they were great. I really liked that. I didn't know they're Canadian, so yay Canada. But anyway, they got up and they rocked it and did some new music from a new album and stuff, and it was great. They were really good opening band. And then they had Metallica come on. And the way this was, it wasn't filmed live and then broadcast. Probably too many issues with that, like in terms of, having a breakdown
Probably
or whatever.
timing, too, because if you do it for the East Coast, all of a sudden,
right.
the LA is watching Metallica perform live at 2 p.m.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So what it was is it was filmed, I think, in Italy, the best we could tell, because we were trying to figure it out.
Wow.
And they opened it with this Morricone score from one of the old spaghetti westerns.
Oh yeah, well they do a cover. Yeah, their live album. A couple of their live albums begin with that.
The one with the symphony, right? That they did.
Yes. The Prague.
What's it called? S&M. The first one was called S&M. That was 99. This new one that came out Saturday night after the concert is S&M 2, which is them going back to San Francisco's orchestra deal, and doing that full thing again and doing new arrangements of their music and stuff. Those are cool albums, by the way. Very cool.
I've only heard S&M 1, but you were raving about S&M 2.
Yeah, super impressed. I mean, it just barely came out, so I'm fresh to it, but it's very good.
Of course.
Anyway, so live filmed but not shown live. Anyway, they were freaking great. It was great. Those guys are rocking it. And I'll be the first to admit, Lars Ulrich is like 60. and he looks like he's gonna die, and he's also like a little frog man now, like a little shriveled up frog man, but he is tearing it up still.
But boy, can that little frog man play the drums.
He can. He's just tearing it up, dude. He was so good. And I know that Hetfield has been in another stint of recent rehab, but looked great, looked healthy, sang his guts out, played guitar great, all that stuff was great. The other two killing it. I'll tell you what, the bassist every day, Trujillo, whatever his name is, he looks more and more like Danny Trejo every freaking day, that guy. I expected him to open up his vest and throw knives at me. He just looked like Danny Trejo. Anyway, they were great. And we loved it. And we decided to take
What a cool way to see a concert, honestly.
It's my new way. This is what I want.
Yeah.
No more crowds. I'm not saying, I'm personally, I'd love to see concerts come back the way that they were. But
sure.
But I'm not going to those anyway because I already hate the experience. Getting out of there takes an hour and a half. Getting in there takes forever. You're crammed with people. Bathroom situation sucks.
Other people suck. Other
people suck.
If they're not singing at the top of their lungs, drowning out what you're trying to listen to, they're they're dancing and encroaching your space, or they're firing up doobies in the audience next to you.
Yeah, you don't want no contact high. If I wanted to get high myself, damn it. Get away from me. Anyway, so and you can control your own volume, Yeah, so if it's too loud, you can turn it down. If it's not loud enough, crank it up.
I'm kind of with you.
And there's still some people watching happening where this guy in the truck next to us is a total weirdo and is drunk out of his mind, and it's fun to watch him. And the lady over here, for some reason, the lady parked next to us, they were also in a truck or a van or something. She changed her shirt 6 times.
What?
We counted 6 times for some reason between songs.
Were they all different Metallica shirts?
Yeah. Well, I don't actually. It's a good point. I don't know. They were different colors and stuff. She would go into the truck bed and then come out with a new shirt on. It was so weird.
More costume changes than Lady Gaga.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Even her concert.
It was really weird. But anyway,
Hilarious.
that kind of, so you still kind of have some of the wackiness, and I really enjoyed it. And then we pulled out of there and drove home. It wasn't hard. We just did the thing, Oh, and we got Freddy's, so we get to eat what we want in the car, and
So, all right, well, let's ask this question. So you've got let's say you had the opportunity to watch the same live streamed concert from your couch. Versus going to the drive-in. Is the experience of still kind of being in a crowd around people all watching the same thing better than being at home watching it streaming from your couch, from your home?
I'm gonna say
dog in the lap.
Yes. Yeah. Because there's something about just the experience of, we drove here, we waited in line, that guy's horn's too loud, the lady at the gate was weird looking. Like I don't know. There's something about about the milieu of it all that it's
funny because you get the experience of watching a thing in a group with other people who are engaged in watching the same thing at the same time as you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
without having all of the other crap that goes with it.
And there's
body odor and stink,
and with the windows rolled down, you can hear people singing and belting it out and cheering after songs, and you don't get that at home. You're not going to get that at home because otherwise it's just crickets. They finish a song and it's just those guys on stage. But but we found out Hetfield lives there in Denver somewhere.
In Denver, I had no idea he lived here.
Yeah, he loves it there. He kept talking about that, and then they talked about all these drive-in theaters around the country. They said the state with the most drive-in theaters was Ohio. They had like 28 or something. And
wow!
He had this list he was going through.
We've got just a handful, maybe 3 or 4 that I know about that are within a 60-minute driving distance.
His Master of Puppets thing they played, and their version of their Unforgiven live version of Unforgiven, unbelievably good live, so good. But they kept Enter Sandman till the very last song, and that kind of bummed me.
Of course they did, yeah.
I kind of was hoping it was earlier, but
yeah. Do you see people in their cars with cigarette lighters?
There were actually people going, yeah! And there were guys I recognized as like, that's probably a guy that was in my high school, and he never got over this. Like this was his lifestyle then, and this is all he wanted to be, and that's what he still is. And part of me wanted to pour one out for him. It's like, way to go, dude. You're a metalhead till the end. You're still smoking cloves out behind the freaking portable and still rocking it. Well done.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, I'm looking. So we have the Star Drive in Montrose, but that's pretty far. Holiday Twin in Fort Collins, the True View in Delta, that's pretty far. The 88 Drive-In in Commerce City, Mesa Drive in Pueblo. There's still a lot in the Denver area, but I'm looking at this list and it's like, okay, a lot of these are more than an hour, maybe even an hour and a half drive away.
Oh, geez. Yeah. This one's only about, I don't know, maybe 16, 17 minutes, something like that. Under 20.
That's great.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So anyway, I would highly recommend it if they do more stuff like this. I want to see like, I don't know, somebody like the Crystal Method or some kind of cool electronica thing there or something. I don't know. Kim and I are going to, I think we're going to make that a thing for dates and stuff.
Keep an eye on. Yeah, there you go.
Because it was rad. And we stayed in our car the whole effing time. And that was also cool. And our stereo, turns out we have a decent stereo. So it's
you got to kind of put it through its paces.
We did.
Yeah, when Tina and I went to that drive-in movie theater / motel in Monte Vista, Colorado. It was like, all right, this actually sounds really good in here. I've never had the audio cranked up to the point where you're hearing dialogue and kind of full surround sound.
It's a little better than it's better than you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
And once you get used to it, you're like, this is great. Bring these back. I'm ready. It's time. It's time for the big comeback. It's also time for this. That music can only mean one thing. Brian Dunaway joins us now for Babble Royale. Hello, Brian.
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian.
Oh, hi. It's nice to see you.
Oh, hi.
How the heck are you? You doing all right over there?
I'm doing great.
Oh, man, that makes me
happy. Today's my first day of random take a break from news and social media.
I'm doing that too today. That's hilarious. I am doing that too.
So good.
Well, I'm using here's the thing. Social media still exists for me, but I'm just not consuming anything that isn't just my nerd fun stuff. That's it. I've blocked out and cut out everybody else. Y'all can go take a hike. I'm listening to people that are like, wow, look at this cool thing I made out of clay. Or the other person's like, I saw something on Netflix that you might really like. I'm listening to those people today.
Yeah, I'm hanging out on my Discord server. That's about it.
Yeah.
What's up, Mission Peeps?
Yeah, Mission Peeps. All right, we're going to take your call over here at 801-471-0462. You could win some prizes today, depending on how Brian and I do in our game of Babble Royale. Please call now. That's 801-471-0462. Should expect a call any moment now, I would hope. Or is anyone getting I guess I should check, because whenever the lines don't light up immediately, it usually means something's weird.
Something's wrong with the sure.
Because we always get calls. Okay, here we go. We got one coming. All right, let's see who this is. Who's our lucky caller today? Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is TV's Travis.
TV's Travis.
TV's Travis.
So
from the moon, apparently.
Yeah, from the moon. Are you on the moon? How's it going?
Room mic, it sounds like.
Yes, I'm on the moon, and my dog is barking.
Oh, awesome. Dog in the moon. You're on the moon. Everyone's on the moon. It'll do for today. TV's Travis, always good to talk to you. Let's dive right in here, Brian, with the rules and what he could win.
Certainly. So I'm going to be giving Scott and Brian Dunaway a topic. They're going to go back and forth giving me answers that fit that topic. If one of them gives a wrong answer, repeated answer, or they take too long to come up with an answer, well, the win's going to go to the other player. Your job, TV's Travis, is to predict who's going to come out on top based on the topic. Today, you're playing for a couple of games via a Humble Bundle in Steam. Don't Escape, courtesy of Brian Belanger. Seems like the opposite of what you'd want to do in a video game, but what do I know? Don't Escape, courtesy of Brian Belanger. And FIAETRC. No, I'm not spelling because me and your mother are talking about something we don't want you to understand.
Yeah.
Indianapolis Motor Speedway game, courtesy of Louis Loyo.
Well, that's cool. I like that.
I've never seen that one.
So you get your racing and you get your non-escaping video games all in one lovely package right here. But you guys need a topic, correct?
Yeah.
But I already know what it is. I've been studying for it.
Oh, good.
What is it?
Top selling N64 game.
Well, Brian, Maybe this is one time that kind of prediction pays off. But it's not, really. Tobias Hayda wrote in and said, here's my Battle Royale idea. Characters killed or snapped in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. These, I only want deaths that are shown on screen. And
no.
But both movies, Infinity War, Endgame, on-screen character deaths, be they by snapping or whatever.
Okay.
You know what? Let's do this right.
Oh, we got the gauntlet.
I mean, wait. You just said or whatever. Wait, did people die that weren't snapped?
Yes.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, there were people that died that didn't get snapped. For sure.
Right. Oh, this is going to be tough because I write with my left hand.
It's not really related. Oh, so you're just saying who died in
now,
Infinity War.
Can you make the snap noise with it?
I can't because I can't get my fingers together to snap.
So actually, Brian's gauntlet is more realistic compared to the movie one, which there's no way you could snap that thing.
Right. Exactly.
All right, so you're going to snap that thing. By the way, this is a stark reminder, this freaking bomb of news that hit everybody this weekend, with Chadwick Boseman passing away. What a horrible freaking thing. What a rad dude he was.
Poor guy.
And he's tough as shit. He's making all these movies, not telling anybody about his thing, fighting cancer and making rad movies, making cool content. Just sucked. What a terrible thing. Anyway.
Tremendous loss. Okay.
All right, so we should get into this. What's the deal?
So TV's Travis, you get to choose who you think is going to win, and you get to choose who goes first.
I think I'm going to go with Scott for the win.
Okay.
And let Brian go first.
All right. TV's Travis has spoken. Brian, you go.
Since I have to go first, I always have to double ask. Make sure I got it all right.
Okay.
Yes, please do. Be my guest.
All right, snapped in Infinity War, right?
Or in Endgame.
Okay, so either one. Yes, okay, yeah. So if they refer to it, but it has to be on screen.
On-screen deaths.
On-screen deaths.
Boy, I mean, yeah, on-screen deaths.
I wish you wouldn't do that death thing. That's the part that's...
Well, okay, I mean, but we know that there were Avengers characters who didn't...
there was some characters who died, but they still
came back,
really what you're
right?
asking for.
But those still count as deaths, right?
Yes, those still count as deaths.
Okay, so I was talking about practical deaths other than getting snapped.
Right.
Deaths
during the
practical deaths.
Practical deaths.
Yes.
Practical deaths. All right.
Got it.
It's like an ornamental cat.
Yeah.
The sad thing is I've seen the snap animation so many times since that movie that I can see every character clearly just getting snapped away, even ones I know didn't get snapped. It's just I can create that effect. So I'm gonna go the one that was there was a few that was heart-wrenching for me. And thinking about the Black Panther this past week, I'm gonna go with Black Panther.
Yeah, he was one of them.
Yep,
So-
shown on screen in Infinity War, the snapping of Black Panther.
I'm gonna go with the ones that really got the heartstrings. That's the one I really remember.
Yeah, that was a hard one.
Absolutely.
The harder one for me was Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
That was
I feel funny, Mr. Stark.
Yeah.
That's because he was all whiny and stuff, and it was
Like
like
that time I had to climb the rope in gym class.
Oh man, yeah, Spider-Man. He's a guy.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Spider-Man. All right.
By the way,
Doctor
I
Strange-
should let everybody know. Spoilers if you haven't seen.
Oh
the
yeah,
movie.
that's true. Yeah, true.
Well, if they
Come
haven't
on,
by
I mean,
now,
come on.
come on, dude. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
It's only the
Well,
two.
some of them I can kind of guess because I remember when everybody came back, so it's like, okay, well, definitely not them. But I'm gonna go with this one. Always busted me up too. I always hate to see a strong man get wiped out, especially if he's Drax. I'm gonna say Drax.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Drax.
My tank.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Drax.
Your tank. Your tank and your raid team.
Your
yeah.
tank.
He
Exactly.
always makes me sad for some reason. It's like,
Yeah.
this is not how I wanted to go.
Yeah.
I wanted to die with honor.
He's a good tank because he knows how to use taunt. And
Right.
and he's
Pretty good,
got a big health pool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And he thinks he has stealth, but he doesn't have stealth.
That's right. That's right.
He doesn't.
All right. Let's go with Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch. Yep.
Yeah.
Snapped out in Infinity War.
She has a famous one where she kind of tilts her head back and just fades out.
That's
pretty,
right.
It's pretty
Yep.
cool. the cool Olsen girl. She's awesome.
The cool Olsen girl.
Yeah.
That's true.
They're twin sisters.
All right, back to you, Brian.
I am snapped. Groot.
I am snapped.
Yeah.
Groot. Yep. Absolutely.
That made me sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a bummer. Okay. Nicholas Fury.
Nicholas J. Fury snapped in the Stinger.
Yeah, the Stinger at the end. That's right.
Boy, you about lost that.
Well, that's
true
snapper.
because it was the end of the first one, right? Because it was like, let me get my beeper out.
He was texting Carol Danvers.
My pager. Let me get my
pager.
My Motorola pager.
Yeah.
Right.
So he counts because he's a hero.
He does
him.
count.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say anything about heroes and villains, so don't,
that's true.
don't put words into my mouth.
You didn't say that. Oh, geez.
I said characters. That's all I said.
I'm glad. No, this is good. This helps my list get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
It's growing.
Well, tell you, the Guardians of the Galaxy really got it hard. So I'm pretty sure I remember Star-Lord getting snapped too.
Yeah.
You do?
I remember thinking, isn't that right? Please tell me that's right, because it seems like I feel like I remember it, but maybe I didn't. Go ahead.
He was off on that same planet with Spider-Man, and he did snap out of existence.
Well, it was his whole fault anyway. He's the one who he should have lived. That we could feel guilty about it.
Exactly, because he got all upset. And,
We were there.
We were there.
We were so close.
Exactly. So Star-Lord, you say. How about it helps me to remember what ones you did if I repeat it after you say it.
Yeah, that's the tough. Yeah, that's also because this is a pretty good list.
Yeah.
Pretty long list.
I assume I can't. Okay, hold on.
I'm assuming I can't. I'm assuming I can't call a friend. I'm just assuming that's not part of the.
All right. Let's do. Oh shit!
Oh.
Why am I blanking on this? Well, let's do. Okay, we'll do an obvious
just say,
one.
"Oh snap!"
We'll do. Freaking Thanos got snapped at the
Right,
end.
let's do Thanos.
Yeah,
sure.
Thanos.
I mean, it was inevitable. He got snapped. In Endgame, the end of Thanos.
Yeah.
So there's one that I want to do, and you keep Loki. Don't you tell me I can't use it. He didn't get snapped, but he died.
Absolutely counts. I didn't say, I said killed or snapped. Killed in Infinity War. Loki, killed by Thanos himself.
Doctor Strange also got.
Yeah, he sure did. It was a good thing I said it earlier.
Yeah, he did.
No, shut up. He didn't say that, did he?
He didn't. No.
Oh my god!
Doctor Strange.
That was so fun.
I've done that before, so it's not that crazy of a reach that I might do it again.
How many people have said Doctor Strange in this game?
One. I get it because it's just the one.
Me pointing the finger is,
Yeah,
like
no, I got I love the reference. It was very good.
Really good reference for those audio listeners.
Sure.
Seeing me hold my finger up.
Those are the ones.
Also, a reminder to get your prostate checked.
Yeah.
Oh snap!
Doctor, what finger are you gonna use?
Dr. Jelly Fingers. There are 3 million ways I can check your prostate, but only one.
I'm going back to.
That's funny.
I'm going back to Practical Deaths again. Gamora.
Sure. Do that. Gamora.
Oh,
yeah.
Gamora.
Pushed off the edge by Thanos.
Yeah, and the whole reason why the Star-Lord was so angry.
Yes, exactly. I didn't want to didn't want to say anything, but yeah, that's
Right.
that is why, and that's how he was able to.
If we're in Practical Deaths, let's do Black Widow then. She
that was
sacrifice.
Yeah.
For the which gem was that? The energy gem?
No,
the soul gem.
Soul gem, yeah. And they wasn't it Soul Gem? I think it was Soul Gem. And they also my thinking is that she ended up just right on top of the corpse of Gamora. That's my thinking.
Just a stack of Marvel characters at the bottom of this ravine.
No one likes to talk about it, but I think it happened.
She didn't die. She has a movie coming out this year. That's silly.
Prequel. All right. Dunaway, you.
Where we probably get the new Black Widow.
That's true.
Oh, see, now I'm really down to things that I'm I'm thinking of snaps that happened that didn't seem to be story heavy, like they just kind of brushed over it. And I'm having trouble remembering if those actually happened or if those just
if you saw them on screen or if you imagined them,
right, or they mentioned them, because a lot of times when you say something, you also believe you've seen it sometimes. And
sure.
Okay, so I know that Thanos borrowed a stone from Vision's forehead, and so that was unfortunate for Vision.
Yeah,
I'll give this back to you when I'm done. Yes, right. Vision.
Are you calling
killed
him?
By Thanos.
Are you calling him Poor Vision?
Poor Vision.
If there were two of me, it'd be double Vision. All right, Vision's good. All right, how about we do? How about we do Proxima Midnight?
Oh, look at you! Killed by the female Avengers in the final battle, Proxima Midnight.
Oh, I didn't think about the villains. I'm gonna have trouble there.
One of my favorite scenes in the thing. I loved it.
Scott did say Thanos earlier, and he's pretty much a villain. So
he did. Well, I didn't say you didn't tell me. I'm saying that I had my mind on one particular path, and I had not gone back.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember if they showed. I know Captain America was pretty upset about a bunch of stuff.
He was upset about a bunch of stuff.
He was not.
I was trying to go through
that. I need to. I mean, he has some really. I gotta fire up my PlayStation and start downloading the Avengers game.
He has some really good.
That's right.
He has some really good intimate relations. He's one of the better intimate relations.
He's great. his Boseman tribute over the weekend was great too. He's awesome.
Oh, I need to go back and look at that. I heard there were some great tributes.
Yeah.
But I can't remember. But God, it feels like he saw. If I could have swore he felt guilt for losing Bucky again, but I'm not sure about it. I'm going with
Bucky Barnes.
Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier.
Correct.
Yes, he did. Yes, absolutely. That was a long time to get to that, but it is correct.
Yeah.
Yes,
God, but I don't remember him. I don't
he
remember
did get
the
snapped.
death.
And they were looking right at each other, and yeah, that's
funny because I'm thinking I remember seeing it, but then I'm thinking no, that was Winter Soldier when they were acting all intimate, and I'm like, it wasn't there, and I'm like,
Quantum Feline says that he was the first to be snapped.
Was he really? Oh snap!
Oh snap!
Okay.
How come every time I come around?
Oh geez. I don't think you said it. Mantis.
Nobody said Mantis yet, and Mantis is a good one to say.
I love her.
She got snapped.
She's one of my favorites.
That was a heartbreaker too.
Whatever her name is.
Pomegranate. Pomade. I don't know her name, but she's so cool, dude. That's a character that should be stupid, but they pull it off, and she's amazing in those movies. I love her in that.
Absolutely.
So good.
So Captain America was just totally devastated because I don't think he had anybody left, right? So I mean, Falcon was gone as well, right? He got snapped.
You're saying Falcon? Is that the one you're saying?
Well, I'm just shooting the die. Yes, I'm saying Falcon.
Say Falcon because he did get shown on screen getting snapped.
Oh,
yep, absolutely. Sam got snapped and coming back for a TV show sometime.
That's right.
Sometime on Disney Plus at some point. Palm Clementif. That's right.
Oh yeah, Palm Clementif. She's also really good in that Devs. She was in Devs.
Right.
All right. It was short, but she was good. All right. Tony Stark.
Yes. Iron Man. I am Iron Man.
Maybe the biggest spoiler if no one's seen those movies.
I am like, he got.
He died by using the gauntlet, and there was a whole funeral at the end of Endgame.
Right. Well, once again, you didn't preface it with practical death, and I was like, he didn't get stabbed because
I think I said practical death like 11 times.
Yeah. Don't worry, he's fine on Earth 3 or 4 or wherever else. He's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yes.
He's okay.
No,
we all know that Pepper's going to take the mantle and become the new Iron Man.
Yeah.
Or rescue or whatever her character.
Dang it, she was there too because she was waiting. I know she didn't get snapped. Dadgummit. I was hoping you had said a word.
Well, no, I was saying that she was in the funeral. This was after everything. So
yeah, I know. So she didn't get run over or nothing. So yeah.
No, she did not.
So there.
This funeral smells like my vagina.
I knew something like that was coming. Here, I'll go ahead.
How many more do we have left?
Oh, I'll tell you actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Holy crap!
8,
really?
9, 10, 11, 12. You have 12 left. 11 left.
All the X-Men got snapped because that's MCU's thumb at the Sony.
Did you have that out? Did you have your candle out, by the way, when everyone was over this weekend?
No. In fact, I forgot to show anyone, and I'm bummed that I didn't do it. I should have burned it, had the label hidden, and had them go, "Oh, that smells so nice. What is it?" And then I would go for the big reveal. You know, I should have done it. Wendy would have been mortified, and I didn't do it. Wendy says hi to everybody. By the way, she's sad that she can't do anything live while she's here, but
yeah,
she'll be back Thursday.
Good. Okay, it's
Oh, is it my turn?
I know.
Oh, it's his turn. His turn.
Yeah, he's dawdling. He's stalling again.
I'm totally stalling because I am.
Are you fresh out?
I can't believe there's that many left. There's just got to be some glaring ones that I'm missing.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Defenders. They all got snapped. They're out of there. They're going with the whole group.
The whole Defenders group. See.
Yeah, they after that short run series, they're out. They get snapped. This is really the best thing that could have happened to them.
And I'm gonna say I think Tobias actually has an error on this one, so I'm not gonna accept that one right there.
Oh, the Defenders or another one? Okay.
another one. But you still need to actually give me an answer.
So you said Defenders. Or is that your final answer?
God's sakes, I can't think of anybody else.
Then. All right, Brian. Who do we miss?
10 o'clock. It's probably time to do. All right, let's get to the rest.
Who did I? I cannot. I'm out too. So I'm really glad Brian started.
Oh, good.
I can't think of anyone else.
Heimdall. Killed by Thanos in the very beginning. Ebony Maw was thrown out into space by Spider-Man and Iron Man. Cull Obsidian was smashed by the Hulkbuster. Corvus Glaive was killed by Vision.
Thank God I didn't get any of these.
Tobias has the Wasp on this list, but I think that happened in the Ant-Man and the Wasp at the end.
Right.
Maria Hill, because she was hanging out with Nick Fury trying to use the pager.
Oh, right.
Oh, why did I think of that? Duh.
Shuri also got snapped out.
I couldn't remember with her. That was.
I thought Shuri did.
No,
that was always the big question.
Wasn't
that like a huge question of whether or not she got snapped or not? Did we actually see her?
She was shown.
Yeah.
And then finally Nebula, which is a little bit confusing, but the imposter, old Nebula, is killed by the future Nebula.
Right.
The betrayal. So.
Right.
Oh, see, I thought about her and I was like, no, she's fine. And I'm like, I forgot.
And I almost said Captain America because when he was an old man, they didn't show it, but Sam tripped him and he fell down some stairs, and that was the end of that.
Wow. Quantum Feeling says Shuri was. You never see Shuri get dusted. Okay, well, I was going by Tobias.
Yeah, because that was all the big controversy, right? I mean, it was like,
right.
But is she dead?
Okay. All right.
All I know is
if you would have said Shuri, then I would have made that mistake, and I'm glad I didn't.
Well, I'm glad you didn't, and I'm also glad you started because I was seriously out. I would have lost, and that means after a long, hot battle, TV's Travis has won, which means I can play this.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
All right, here, TV's Travis. Here's all you have to do is send an email to coverville@gmail.com. You'll get your prizes, and one of those, I believe, was a thing from the Humble Bundle, which I just want to play this. It's funny. That's how French people say Humble Bundle. Anyway, TV's Travis, how do you feel about your big win?
I feel pretty good about it.
That's awesome.
Right horse.
Give our best to the moon people of Chandar, and it's been great to have you here.
Hey to the Defenders for me.
Yep, there you go. Hey, 3:30 Mountain Time today, The Boop Show. Me and Brian Dunaway knocking it out with another video game, chatty chat about all kinds of cool stuff we've been playing, and that's something you're going to want to check out at 3:30 Mountain Time at frogpants.tv, or the podcast later if you like, over at frogpants.com/BOOP. Brian Dunaway, anything else you want to say before we let you go?
Yes, Scott, I would like to say suck it.
Suck it.
Wow.
Yeah, that was rough.
Really?
Rough.
Really? That's a hard line to go.
It is. I'm a little shocked. Not really. Okay, hey, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Bill Duran will be here. We're going to do a little Punish Props this morning. And after that, our good friend Steven Schleicher. I got to ask, I have a question about Eddie Brock later. So pretty excited to talk to him. Before all that, though, Brian will play a song.
Yeah, let's go to Toronto, Canada, for a 17-year-old artist who's releasing her debut EP called Vincent on September.
It has been quite a leap from Pac-Man to Night Trap.
Yes!
This is the morning stream. This house, it knows we're here.
All right, we're back, everybody. Welcome back. I really like that. I will listen to a whole album of that. That sounded great.
Well, you can't get a whole album. You can just get an EP, but I'll tell you this: I've got the whole EP, and it's all killer, no filler.
All killer, no filler.
One more time, it's Paige Blossom, Paige Blossom, and the new EP is called Vincent. Go check it out.
Fantabulous. All right, we're gonna call Bill Duran. Yeah, because today's is Mondays. That's the new time for him.
That's right.
And we're gonna get in here. We're gonna have a little chat, a little conversation, a little beating around the bush with our old pal Bill. Here's our thing for it. Where is it? Here it is.
Your bat cave's open there, Bill.
Bill Duran, everybody. PunishProps.com's own comes on Mondays now and talks about the world of making stuff. And today's no different. Bill, what are we making today? What are we doing?
Hello, guys.
Hello.
We put up a new video up in the old YouTubes about glue, about the glues that I like using on EVA foam.
Ooh, nice.
For foam smithing.
Yeah. Do you feel like is there a lot of safety tips in there about what glues not to be huffing and that sort of thing, or
there is a lot of safety tips. There actually every section has its own safety portion.
Oh, good. That's very responsible of you. That's impressive. Yeah.
The ultimate glue quest. Yeah, because you probably got to watch out for stuff that's not going to change the dynamic of the foam and like eat away the structure and stuff like that, right?
Well, EVA foam is pretty stable.
Is it? Okay.
Styrofoam, though, you got to be careful.
That's probably what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. In fact, if you spray paint styrofoam, there's a good chance it's all just going to melt.
Wow.
So, yeah, you do got to be careful with some foams and some glues and some paints.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that was true of styrofoam. I will make sure to not do that at any given time. It seems bad.
So EVA foam's pretty stable. You can use some pretty aggressive stuff on it, and it's not going to melt unless you want to melt it, in which case I should make a video about that. But we use a lot of different types of glues for a lot of different purposes, but the one I use the most is a contact cement. Mm-hmm. Contact cements are extremely useful, and it's the kind of glue I really didn't learn about until I started making costumes out of foam. In fact, my Mass Effect armor I made entirely using super glue, which worked. Don't recommend it. Okay. I got a lot of super glue on me.
Yeah.
But after that, I learned about contact cement. It changed my world.
Yeah, the cool thing we used at art school, we used contact cement a lot, and for like mats and things like that. And what's cool about it, number one, if you get some on your hands, you just kind of rub it off, and it turns into a little ball you can throw in the trash or at the teacher, whatever. Mm-hmm. But the property of basically it being a super good adhesive when you have two things that have it, two things that are coated with it, touching each other.
Yeah.
And man, that stuff just
so
like
is this the same thing as rubber cement? Is that what this is when you say contact cement?
Same thing, right? Because that's what I'm thinking. Right?
Kind of. I'm not exactly sure what makes rubber cement compared to like a contact cement, but the main property of any sort of contact cement is that you brush the glue on both surfaces you're going to glue together, then you let it dry for a bit. And then when you touch the surfaces, they bond instantly. Compared to if I put super glue on something, I have to hold those two pieces together in place until that glue is dry.
Oh,
and during that time, the piece could move a little bit.
Gotcha.
Or like wood glue is probably a better example. You got to clamp everything together. You got to make sure it's perfectly stable until that glue is dry. But with contact cement, you let it dry first. And then as you place the pieces together, that's when the bond is created. So it gives you a lot of control.
Hence the term contact. Here's the difference, I guess. Yeah.
By the way, they're both in the class of drying adhesives. It means you dry both of them before you put the two things together.
Yeah.
But really, contact cement is a lot more permanent as opposed to rubber cement, which you can kind of pull apart later if you need to.
Okay, that explains it.
The only time I've used rubber cement was to make rubber cement paint, which is a paint you can make for painting latex rubber. Latex rubber is hard to paint. If you just brush like acrylic paints on it, it won't bond, and when the rubber stretches, the paint will flake off. But you can mix together oil paint with a thinner like naphtha and rubber cement, and you can actually airbrush the rubber cement onto a surface.
Weird. That's weird. Yeah. That's a video.
That's my experience with rubber cement.
Mine was a kid named Patrick Nagel, not to be confused with the Playboy artist, who covered his hand in rubber cement in art class and said, "Hey, I'm going to be like in the movies." That was the last thing I heard him say as he went and then lit his arm on fire because it was covered in rubber cement, which immediately went, and he thought it would protect him like some kind of special effect. And he
fire gel or whatever they call that stuff.
Yep, and he ran up to the front of the class and it was burning. He was swearing and he was flicking little balls of flame all over the class. And he ran up to the front and there were two big things of water, or two big buckets he could put his hand in. One was turpentine and the other one was water. And he thankfully chose water. And just a side note, Patrick Nagel was a freaking idiot. And I'll doubt he's even alive today. I don't know what happened to that guy, but he was nuts. Anyway.
And could we call the other Patrick Nagel the Duran Duran artist as opposed to the Playboy artist?
Oh, I could say that, yeah. Or I mean, he just did a lot of work for Playboy, but he also
did a lot of work. There was a lot of nudie boobies and Patrick Nagel's
Patrick Nasals.
Navel, nasal, whatever.
It's all the same. Yeah, we'll call the whole thing off. But no, then there's also the Pat Nagel in the World of Warcraft stuff. He's the fishing guy.
Oh yeah, the fishing guy.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a fun trip down memory lane. Sorry, Bill, I derailed you. Back to your cement.
So glue, huh? So anyway, other than making costumes, contact cements are really awesome for gluing soles onto shoes. It's a very permanent bond.
You're talking about soul binding.
Yeah. Or putting a new headliner in your car. Yeah, anytime when you want to be able to just press the thing into place and have it stay there, it's really super useful.
Nice.
We use a brush-on contact cement. Usually the brand Barge is what we go with, but there are many others. It is toxic, so working in a well-ventilated area is critical. So if you're doing this in a small room, like a bedroom or office, what'll happen is the area can fill with this toxic fume, and that's all you're breathing. And over time, that's going to cause damage. So you want to have a window open with a fan going, or and a respirator, an appropriate respirator.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can do it outside, if you're going to do a ton of it, then go out in the garage or go outside.
Do you have a shop fan you recommend? Like a good shop fan for people? I've got a friend who's looking for one, and it's funny you bring these up. But
I don't know. I have just an assortment of box fans and stand-up fans that I've collected over the years. Nothing too fancy.
So you just need them to blow air around, right?
Move the. That's the main thing. You don't want a cloud of this fume just hovering around your head.
Yeah.
And something else that sometimes people forget about. This stuff's toxic to you. It's also really toxic to your pets.
Oh, so I didn't think about that.
You got a bird in the room.
Yeah.
That bird can handle a lot less toxic stuff than you can, and you don't want to be poisoning them. You may have your respirator on.
That's why they put the canary in the coal mine. That's the whole thing, right?
That's exactly it. Right.
Canary croaks, and you're like, uh-oh, that's just the beginning because they're sensitive. Now we're all going to get it. Get out.
That's exactly how it goes. So if you can work outside when you use a lot of this stuff, that's a good idea.
Brian, are you glad I explained what a canary in a coal mine is so that the world would know? Are you happy about that I explained that?
That's great.
I think we're set.
Good.
I thought the police did it better, but you did a fine explanation.
Oh, deep cut.
The way we work with this stuff,
walking in a straight line.
I know. Sorry, Bill. Go ahead.
No problem. The way we work with this stuff with foam is we'll brush a thin layer on either side of the foam. So if we're going to glue a seam together, brush it on both sides, and then you wait a good 5 minutes. The barge we use takes about 5 minutes to dry. When it's it's shiny when you put it on, and by the time it dries, it's kind of a matte finish. That's how you know. You don't want to put you don't need a lot of the stuff. You don't want a big glob of it on there. And if you want it to dry faster, you can use a hairdryer or something to help you along the way. But then once they're dry, you just slowly press those two pieces together, and as soon as they touch, they are stuck.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm watching your video where you take the two pieces and when you touch them, I thought, oh, he's going to have to stand here for a while and hold these together. No, it's like it's the same piece of foam.
But make sure your aim is true, because once those things touch,
yes, exactly,
they are not coming apart ever.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. One of the really nice side effects of this, though, is that you're not going to be getting glue on your hands when you're pressing the stuff together. If you're trying to hold two things together with super glue and the glue oozes out near your hand and you got to hold it there, you're like, well, I guess my fingers are some part of this now.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched a video of somebody trying to do, I guess there's a thing where you can super glue your upper lip to itself. You kind of fold it up and you end up with bigger lips. It's like a thing people do. I don't know why they do this.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
And then I watched this lady trying to do it. She was trying to do it and she ended up getting her finger in there. And now her finger. For
God's sake, get off TikTok, Scott.
That's where I saw it, too. That's funny. That's exactly where I saw it. So anyway, sorry, sidetrack again.
That's okay. I've glued my hands to my face before. That for real has happened.
What'd you end up having to do? What'd you have to do? Do you just do it like the Band-Aid, rip it off fast, and it's faster that way? Or do you have to use some stuff? Or what do you do when you get stuck to yourself?
I have a super glue debonding fluid that you can use to dissolve the super glue.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Very slowly remove your finger from your face.
Well, my memory is, so I've been flipping through Foamsmith 3. There's a chunk of this information in there. So it's if you're all thinking, I don't want to watch a YouTube video, well, then get the book, because the book is rad, and it's like, if you're old-fashioned like that, hey, I got good news for you. Bill made a book. There's 3 of them. Get all 3.
Get all 3.
Hence the Foamsmith 3.
Yeah, get all 3. Get the trilogy, as we like to call it.
Yeah, and you'll all be very surprised to find out who dies in the end.
Oh, man, I know, right?
Snapped out of existence. Except my fingers are stuck together.
Exactly. What happened here? This is awesome.
So
go ahead.
Yeah, the bond with this contact cement is super permanent. It is, in fact, stronger than the foam. The foam will rip before the glue does. You can debond it. They sell a thinner that will help you pull it apart if you have to, so long as you haven't let the glue dry for. If it's dried for a couple of days, it's pretty much permanent. But the thinner, surprise, surprise, also super toxic. So be careful.
Well, I learned something today, and also watching you play around with hot glue, as if it's not hot, is manly. It's very manly that I'm watching.
Oh, and if you touch the hot glue, you just rub it really fast so you don't burn yourself.
Yeah, so I was just watching that. You're a daring gentleman. All right, you always leave us with a little bonusy, content-y thingy. Do you have something like that today?
Yes, this is a fantastic channel called The Smuggler's Room. Okay. And they made a video recently on transforming a cooler into a Star Wars beer cooler.
Look at that!
Oh, Brian!
Oh my God, that's what I want.
Yes,
and it's even a bald guy with a goatee making it, Brian. It looks like you.
Yeah,
he doesn't have the mustache though.
No, that's
not
true.
Yet.
Yeah.
No.
Gotta have can't just go for the drapes. Gotta have the valance.
Yeah, that's what I say. Oh, this is gorgeous! Holy schmokers!
His name is Brian, and he does tons of really fun stuff. He is way into Star Wars.
And his background is really cool too.
Well, he's transforming his basement into the inside of a spaceship.
Millennium. Yeah, it looks very Millennium Falcon, which is brilliant.
So a lot of his videos are like that, him transforming things to look more Star Warsy, and he does a great job. The videos are super fun. He's funny. His wife shows up sometimes, and they're adorable. They're great. Worth checking out.
100% would buy this. This is so cool.
It's really cool, and it's really just random crap glued onto onto a cooler.
Yeah, he's my new hero. Sorry, Bill. Move over. I got this guy.
That's fine.
Oh, this is great.
Nice link. That is, of course, look up Star Wars Igloo Cooler on YouTube, or else the Smuggler's Room, which is his channel, available now. And, of course, punishprops.com and the Punish Props YouTube channel should be your first order of business. Bill Duran, everybody. Punishprops.com, and also Chinbeard on Twitter if you want to poke him over there. Bill, have a fantastic day. And we'll see you next weekend. Week. Bye now.
See you, Bill.
Had a little glitch there in the system. I don't know what happened there at the end for me. All right.
John Gui Games, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, just announced that the Haunting of Bly Manor teaser just dropped for the sequel to The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix.
Oh, I love that series.
Yes, I do too. Don't know when it comes out, but that's awesome.
Probably October-y, right?
Probably. I would assume the scariest month of the year.
Yeah, the Halloweenish time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, time for this, everybody, right here.
Steven.
Joining us from the bowels of Hays, Kansas, and major spoilers.
Bowel. That's the south of the town.
No kidding.
Majorspoilers.com's own Steven Schleicher joins us, as he does on Mondays. We talk nerd stuff. How's it going, man? How's Steven this fine morning?
It is going. Hello, Scott. Hello, Brian.
Hi.
Hello.
It's nice to have you. It's always nice to, also, you're always often in the chat room early, and it's just nice hanging out with you early. And it's just, I don't know, it's good to have you here, man. We like having you.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, let's get to it. We got, so I got a question about Eddie Brock first. Can I ask you a question?
Oh, okay.
How
you can ask. I'm not trying to know.
Well, I see that was one of the things I was
not
going
the
to ask.
Topher Grace version of Eddie Brock.
No, not him. He's a terrible Eddie Brock. I like Topher Grace too, so don't get me wrong. It's just I just think that was a bad implementation of this character. But anyway, I've been reading this run, and I forgot the artist and the writer. It's embarrassing because it'd be good if I knew it. It was recommended to me by John Jagger, who's a huge fan of Marvel Comics, and he really, really recommended highly this run of Venom, which started in, I think, 2018. I think it's still going, and it also spawned off the Absolute Carnage spinoff, which is another Carnage take, and it's all sort of tied to the story.
Yeah.
I just wanted to recommend the story. It's very good, very different take than I remember all the Venom stuff being. Venom used to be just sort of such a one-note sort of, villain / anti-hero that it just never really bonded to me like Bill's glue. But this is really working for me, and I'm really digging it. So I wanted to put that out there first of all. Then the question was, well, I guess my question is, do you like Venom at all? Because it sounds like maybe Venom's not your jam.
Venom's not really my jam. He works, I think, really good as, when it really came out in, what was it, 86, 88, when he first came out as, as Eddie Brock, Venom.
Yeah,
but really doesn't
run.
do anything. Really doesn't do anything. They tried to make him an anti-hero. They tried to make him the anti-Venom at one point when he was trying to be a hero. Eddie Brock is just this character that has never lived up to his full potential and has done a lot of bad things. And it seems like every time he tries to do something bad, there's no retribution. He wants to go to jail. He wants things to happen to him, but nothing happens. So he's just this character that seems rather wasted in a lot of points.
Well,
now, he had cancer and he had a bunch of other things that the character has gone through in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
But now he's back as being the big bad Venom.
I would recommend people check out that run. And then the other thing I was going to say was, do you guys know who the Maker is? Have you heard of the Maker in Marvel's?
No.
Okay.
No.
So the Maker is apparently a alternate Earth version of Mr. Fantastic. It's Reed Richards, but he's
yes, right. It's like the evil Reed Richards.
Yeah,
right?
where it's just like science is everything, and it's all, and I'm using it as a power to destroy everybody, kind of thing.
That's right.
He's got a big run in this Venom run, and it's very interesting. I just really glommed onto it, so I'm going to put it out there that I think it's cool, and that if you've blown it off in the past or just thought Venom was a little one note, I think you might be surprised how good this series is. It's kind of how I feel about that Immortal Hulk thing. It's just such a different take that it really drew me into a Hulk comic, and I usually don't care about those. Anyway, all right, forget about all that. Let's talk about DC Fandom and how many people got into it. Apparently, a lot.
Yeah. So we talked about some of the highlights, last week, but 22 million people ended up viewing portions of that entire event that they had, which is actually a really big deal when you think about it. That's bigger than anybody that could ever sit in a Hall H presentation at a San Diego Comic-Con. One of the nice things about the way they did their presentation is trailers and other materials were released immediately when they went live during the DC Fandom. So people weren't waiting 2 days or 3 days, and there weren't illegal copies popping up all over the place. It looks like DC and Warner Brothers are very pleased with how the event turned out, and I believe that they're going to re-examine how they approach comic conventions in the future, especially for the big media stuff.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see what the next part of Fandom happens on September 12th.
Seems like we're heading toward a time, this is true in video games too, but a time where these guys are just going to have their big presentations outside of having to make it all work on a stage. You know what I mean? Like you can do everything they did at Fandom, or the way Nintendo does their directs, or the way this year Sony and Microsoft have both had to show off their stuff. I think you can still have your live events when we have those in a more reasonable way. But I think that there's some value in, at least today, with as ubiquitous as the internet is, where the fans they're all out there and chomping at the bit every day on social media or whatever. Like, really go direct to them first with the big stuff, right? And then the other, you can still have your panels, and you can still have your deeper dives and all that other stuff in a more traditional convention sort of setting. But yeah, I'm all for that. I really enjoyed everything I saw from the Fandom stuff. Every time a trailer popped, I was super stoked.
I have a feeling that Warner Brothers and DC may have a little bit of leverage if they decide to go back to Hall H in the future to say, hey, we want this entire thing streamed live. Yes, there are people that will be here in person that will be able to see the stars and the celebrities we bring up on stage, but we want this thing streamed live because all the hype that was generated from that one-day event is more than what you could have gotten out of San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, this just reminded me of something when you were talking about. Well, anyway, it just reminded me of it. So Brian went and saw New Mutants. Okay, so he did that. I guess that Bill and Ted thing's out, but it's a streaming deal, right?
Yeah. And some movie theaters.
Okay.
Paid stream, right, exactly. Theaters and streaming.
Yeah. So the reason I bring that up,
movie theater us that was showing Bill and Ted was 50 miles away.
So I was wondering what Rotten Tomatoes are going to do about this, because it pulled in $7 million. New Mutants did, which is not a lot in normal times, but it's pretty good for right now.
Pretty good for the first week of movies after COVID.
Yeah, and so I wondered what they were going to do, because they had kind of shifted everything over to here's the best thing streaming on whatever and whatever. So what they've done now, it's now movies coming soon to theaters and streaming, and then popular streaming, but they still don't have like they don't have a thing that breaks out like the stuff in the theaters now. I don't know what they do in the future. And the reason I'm bringing all of this up is because the Bill and Ted Face the Music dropped over the weekend. And I don't know who's seen it. I know Justin Robert Young's seen it. We're going to talk to him tomorrow. Did you see it? Okay.
Yeah, I did. I was like, you can rent it for $19.99 or you can buy it for $25. And it's like, well, spend a couple extra bucks. If you like the movie, you're going to be able to watch it again and again and again.
Oh,
so we bought it
on
Friday night. I watched it on Saturday.
And did you? All right. So how did I don't know how to even ask this question. Is it good?
Was it good?
Did you like it?
No, it was good. It was enjoyable. You can tell that they were really pushed for budget. The movie only had a $25 million budget. They shot in Louisiana. Some of the set pieces look a little weird and could have used a little extra polish. But for $25 million, this was very much worth my time. And I think it's a nice way to kind of cap, the Bill and Ted adventures off completely and just kind of, pretty much. You can't have everybody from the original movies in there because George Carlin has passed away. But they do a nice bridge to, George Carlin's kids as well as Bill and Ted's kids and those kinds of things. Well worth my time. So I have a feeling if 1 million people buy the movie, it'll make its, their production budget. If 2 million people buy it, they will make their advertising budget. So I have a feeling that this is going to be something that's in the black fairly quickly.
We're definitely planning on renting it. We might just spend the extra $5 and buy it. Just because that feels like a silly thing to pass up, in case maybe the kids want to come over and watch it or something like that.
Well, and the fact that it's only an extra $5, it's like,
I know they made it like a no-brainer price.
Yeah.
To do that.
Yeah, I think that's the point, right? They're trying to drive. Yeah. They're driving one kind of $20 or another with an average of about 20 in the end. Either way, so it seems smart. Yeah, I'll watch. I really do want to see it. I totally want to see it. I just, I guess I was hoping. Well, I guess we're getting that from Steven, but I'm hoping for good things from it. And so far, 2 of my friends liked it. So I guess I'm in for some fun Bill and Ted business. Because I'm always on the fence whether I think whether or not I've always been on the fence whether the first one was actually any good or not. I like the second one.
Oh, I love the first one.
I don't know how
I don't
feel
care for
about
the
it.
second one.
I'm
going to guess that Justin Robert Young and Rodrigo Lopez both love number 2 is going to be my guess. I know Rodrigo does.
Yeah, I'd like to.
If you love number 2, then I think you'll really enjoy this movie.
So, there was rumor that they were going to CGI George Carlin in there. They didn't do that, right?
There is a moment where he's in there as a CGI element.
Okay.
But I don't want to spoil what it is. It's a nice little bit.
Okay. Well, I think I'm genuinely
It's more
interested.
of a, hey, here's George Carlin because, hey, we don't want to forget him.
Yeah,
because literally everybody else, Missy is in this again, the original actress. Ted's father, the police officer, is in this again. I don't know if Death is the same actor or not. But they tried to get as many of the original actors in there as possible.
I think the Death guy is. It's what's his name from Shawshank? Can't think of his name. He's a great actor. Love that guy.
Right.
William Sadler. He's
William
in it.
Sadler. Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally him, which is great. I mean, it's makeup, but whatever. He's old now. Speaking of not really old, WB's next animated movie goes back to the 70s. You've got me hooked already. What is this?
Okay, so the new animated movie. So a little while ago, I had talked about the Justice League Apocalypse War kind of wrapped up the Flashpoint storyline that they've been telling for the last decade over in the DC animated movies. Out last week on digital, and I think it comes out in 2 weeks on DVD, is Superman the Man of Tomorrow, which is really, really good. But part of that, they always include, hey, here's what the next movie that we're working on is. And it is Batman, Soul of the Dragon. And it takes Bruce Wayne back to Nanda Parbat, where he's learning. It's got Richard Dragon. It's got Lady Shiva, all before they become, big heroes. And it is a funky 70s bit that just looks all kinds of awesome. And I hope they treat it like they treated the first DC animated short with the Spectre, where they actually put in the scratchy track and they made the picture jump every once in a while and that kind of stuff. But if you're into some Kung Fu 70s stuff, Batman Soul of the Dragon is, I don't know when, it looks like it's going to come out in April of 2021.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's going to be good.
I'm in, dude. Have we gotten your opinion on, I don't think we have, on the Batman trailer? Because that came out since we talked last.
Oh, yeah. I think it looks really good. I think that there may be a fourth villain that they haven't really shown off in the trailer yet.
Oh, I hate when they do so many villains. I hate that.
Well, I just, the way that they were using, covering up the number 2 and how they kept stressing, even though it's from the Riddler to Batman, I really, for some reason, I just get this vibe that we're going to get a Two-Face appearance.
Oh, interesting. Well, and it does seem more detective-y, the story. And if it's based on year 1, that's, that
I
jives.
think it's actually based on year 2. This one, I think, is based on year 2.
Okay. Yeah. Either way, I don't know. Brian and I talked about it a lot, but I feel pretty good about that trailer.
No, it looks good. The trailer that we saw for the couple of weeks of shooting that they did looks great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see, the Penguin and the Riddler and the Catwoman and all the good guys and bad guys running around. Looks really good.
Yeah. We have Colin Farrell as Richard Kind as the Penguin. He looks just like Richard Kind. It's so weird. It's so weird. Anyway, if you guys don't know who Richard Kind is, look him up. You'll know who I'm talking about.
He spit on Scott once.
He did spit on me once. Did we just talk about this? We did just talk about this.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Has it?
Talking about
I
that?
thought we just talked about this. I don't know why. Anyway, all right. Well, that's a lot to chew on, and always more to chew on over there at majorspoilers.com. Steven, anything else happening with the site or the network you'd like to mention?
Yeah, if you are into tabletop role-playing games, then the new So You Want to Read Comics post is up, and it's all about comic books that have the feel or the vibe of role-playing games. And you guys can go check it out and get a couple of recommendations from one of our writers, Jonathan.
That is fantastic.
Nice.
Yep. Also, stay hydrated.
Oh, yeah, stay hydrated.
Very important
we will.
to do that.
And don't forget, go to majorspoilers.com, everybody. Major Spoilers on Twitter as well. All right, Brian, time for a Monday mashup because it's Monday.
Yay! It's Monday, and therefore a Monday mashup.
No getting around it.
Is a requirement and appropriate.
This one's called Scarfy Filter. I don't know. Remember? No
idea what this is.
Yeah, we'll get to the end of this and go, oh, that, but we don't know. So we're gonna play it for you. Enjoy.
Keep it geekly.
Ooh. A nudist chased a wild boar who snatched his laptop. Oh no! You have the laptop! Bring it back to me! I am
Did he take it back to Timon? I know it's a warthog versus a wild boar, but it's similar looking. Come on. It's kind of a Pumbaa joke. Come and ride the coat of many colors. Oh, that ain't going away anytime soon.
Nope. Man later identified as James Pettyjohn. Ugh.
Vampire Pettyjohn.
For 1,000 years.
Blah,
Pettyjohn.
blah, my name is James Pettyjohn. I want to drink your blood.
You can't
Just
kill
call
me.
Mr. Pettyjohn.
In the 80s, I was here during the Civil War.
That's kind of like Les Miserables, right?
Yes, Les Miserables.
Yeah, you don't have a name. You just got a number.
Yeah, like Les Miserables. Yeah. That's the movie you're thinking.
Les Miserables. The Miserables.
Les the Miserables. Okay.
Yeah, the Fall Guy Miserables.
Yeah, the Fall Guy. You know the Fall Guy. He's been blown up by Farrah, got hit for Raquel Welch. And
I am a stunt man, and this is what we do. And for some reason, I solve crime because it's the 80s.
Yeah, you can publish the pictures of my naked body. Yeah.
Just blur them out for me, please.
If my doodle shows, please blur them out, please.
I'm so glad he ran off with that sack. Should we be smoking meat in the time of wildfires in Colorado? Signed, Karen. Hey, I like fireworks. Fireworks are great. Patriotic, and if you don't like it, you're un-American. Leave the country.
Don't lick each other's peep. Don't lick each other's peep. That's good. It's good advice as well. We'll try that again.
Put some hot water into the French press for a minute.
It's like Patrick's. It's like Patrick's here. I can't even tell the difference. I can't even tell the difference. You guys hear that? That's
scarf as a filter.
That's Patrick Beja right there. Do you guys hear it?
It really, really is.
Incredible. We never said. When did we say Scarfy
filter? A Scarfy filter. You put that on to make someone look French.
Oh, I guess that's what that is. All
right.
A
Scarfy filter.
Normally it's a thing we say, so it threw me.
Did we not say it there at the end?
I don't think we did.
Am I mentioning it? Oh, okay.
I think it was just because it was friend. Did we?
Maybe it was just an implied.
Did he say it? Am I going crazy? Scarf as a filter? Is that what we said?
Scarf as a filter.
For the coffee.
Oh, right. Scarf as a filter for the coffee. Did I? Jeez.
I don't
play
know.
it again. Let's hear it again.
I'm going to play this last part right here. Hold on. Just a second, Brian. Here we go. Just listen to this.
Oh.
I can't even tell the difference. You guys hear that? That's
Scarf as a filter.
Ah, there it is. There it
My
is.
Scarf as a filter. There we go.
All right. Gosh dang it. Jamie, you killed it again. Well done. Nice job.
Scarf as a filter.
Follow him on Twitter, TMS Mashups, so you can find him there. Hey, real quick here, an email from Lisa Whalen, who says, my husband, Ty, loves your show and recently has gotten me into it as well. We just took a big risk and moved across the country during a pandemic, no less, because I got hired at my dream job. My husband has been my cheerleader the whole way and has put everything into helping me make this giant step. We moved right around his birthday, and in the chaos, did not get to celebrate it. I was hoping you could send him a birthday shout-out on the show, as he would love it and be so surprised. Thanks for the shows, Lisa Whalen. Well, Lisa.
Hell yes.
Happy birthday to your unnamed husband. We don't
His
have
name
his
is Ty. Happy birthday, Ty.
I mean Ty.
Third word in her email.
It's one of the first things I read. Hey, Ty, what's up?
Happy birthday, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hope you had a good one. We don't know how old you are, though, right?
Yeah, that part she didn't include.
Okay.
He's 26 is how old he is.
Very good. And he's see, either way, that's a good one, because if he's younger than 26, that's great. If he's older than 26, he's complimented that you say he's 26.
Hey, I look young enough to be 26. Thanks, Brian.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nailed it. All right. So there you go. We're happy to do that. And Lisa, that's super sweet. And I hope Ty enjoyed our little shout out. All right. We're done with the show forever. This is the last episode we're ever doing. Just kidding. That's not true. We'll be back tomorrow.
It is the last episode we're ever doing in August 2020.
That's true. Oh my gosh. Mark this down. The last episode of August of 2020 is today.
We will never do another episode in August 2020.
Yep. It's 1982 tomorrow. Think of that, the episode. Ooh. I know. It's crazy. We're getting close to the 500, and that reminds me, the mugs are in pre-order mode right now for the 2000th commemorative coffee mug. On the back it says, I can see why you like it, or I can totally see why you like it, it says on the back. And on the front it says TMS 2000. Go check it out. Available now at frogpants.com/store. We do this for big milestone times on the show. We did 500, we did 1,000, we did 1,500, and now we're doing 2,000. So go get it. They're going quick, actually. A lot more people are getting them than I thought, and it's happening fast. So go get them. That's at frogpants.com/TMS.
Quick reminder, by the way.
Yeah.
The patron play date got rescheduled. Scott had some stuff over the weekend that had to happen.
Sorry.
So it's happening this weekend, and here's the cool thing: you're going to get patrons. You're going to get a Friday episode, and you're going to get a Saturday Patreon play date.
That's right.
And everybody can come to the Patreon play date.
That's
gonna
right.
Be Saturday right after Film Sack.
We're doubling it up. So PM on Friday. That's still happening. Dan will be here. I've already talked to him. He's excited to be back with us. And then Saturday play date, like Brian said. Perfect. Double dose. Like taking a booster shot in both cheeks.
That's right. Exactly. You will be inoculated for future episodes of TMS.
That's right.
Forward.
That's right. So we look forward to that. In the meantime, we are supported by you and your husky shoulders over at patreon.com/TMS. And that's how you get that extra bonus stuff. So go check that out. All right, Brian, let's get out of here. We got to do it with a song, though. What do you got?